Hey guys, Dalek44 here. I need no introduction. Christmas! 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 I love Christmas. Season of joy. Best time of the year. I love it so much. I love the presents, I love the decorations, I love the trees. I even love those silly novelty items. But most of all, I love the specials. The movies and the TV specials, all of them. But which ones are the best in my opinion? Which ones to me are the funniest, most influential, or capture the true essence of Christmas for me? And seeing as how it is the 12th month of the year, I'm going to count down the top 12 Christmas specials that made it through my childhood. Why top 12? Because it's Christmas! These are my top 12 Christmas specials. Number 12. Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean. Everyone knows that the character is like a child trapped in a man's body, so like a child he encompasses all the excitement of Christmas, but not much of a heart. And there's an especially funny scene when he's playing with a nativity set with dinosaurs and tanks and a Dalek. We all know he's not doing it to be mean, he just doesn't know any better. I used to pretend that the baby Jesus was a Power Ranger. I was grounded for a week. And there's one scene in the special where he writes out a ton of Christmas cards and then sends them to himself. That's both funny and kind of sad. But everybody remembers the infamous turkey on the head scene. This special basically shows us that Mr. Bean is like a child, and just like a child he shows all the excitement and the selfishness of Christmas. Plus Rowan Atkinson is really funny in the role, and that's why I consider this the number 12 on my list. Number 11. Sonic Christmas Blast. This was made sometime around after Sonic Sat.AM and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog ended. In this special, Dr. Robotnik captures Santa Claus secretly and then takes his place, but changes Christmas around so that everybody has to give him presents. When Sonic the Hedgehog hears about this, he goes to save Santa and bring Christmas back to Mobius. Like I said, this must have been made sometime after Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic Sat.AM ended, because it's sort of like a mix between the two shows. I mean, we had Robotnik, Sonic and Scratch and Grounder from Adventures, and we had a little cameo from Sally from Sat.AM. What I like most about this Christmas special is seeing Robotnik in that ridiculous Santa Claus outfit. It's no wonder he mentions that people say he looks like Santa Claus in one of the episodes, Sonic Christmas Blast, because this is the special where everyone can have a blast. Number 10. The Catherine Tate Christmas Special from 2007. We all know that the Catherine Tate show is just a sketch show where Catherine Tate plays several characters. In this special she does it all again. And this was actually the last Catherine Tate special to be made before Nan's Christmas Carol. Everybody remembers the scene where Lauren Cooper died in that canoeing accident. But the scene I love the most is when Nan gets a visit from her daughter, who is very much like Nan herself. This Christmas special has a lot of laughs and a lot of excitement. And I definitely say give it a check out. Number 9. The Vicar of Dibley, The Christmas Lunch Incident. Out of all the Christmas specials that the Vicar of Dibley have done, this one is definitely the funniest. Geraldine Granger, the vicar, agrees to have Christmas lunch with almost everybody in the village. First she has one with Frank and Jim, then the Hortons, then the Tinkers, and then no one. I mean, how can you watch that and not laugh about it? Especially the sprout eating contest. And it's also hilarious how Alice Tinker's family are just as mad as she is. And we also get the return of that producer from Songs of Praise, who asks Geraldine to marry him to an Irish tart, as she says. This special has a lot of laughs and a lot of touching moments too. That's why I consider it the number 9. Number 8. Christmas Carol. And I mean all the adaptations I've seen. There's been several adaptations of A Christmas Carol, and the ones I've seen were The Muppet Christmas Carol, Mickey's Christmas Carol, Nan's Christmas Carol, and I've even seen Old Dog's Christmas Carol. I like all of them, but the ones I love the most are the Muppet one and the Mickey Mouse one, because it's interesting how they managed to fit the whole story into a half-hour short. That's really hard to do with a story like this, and it's a really good special because we've all seen a guy like Ebenezer Scrooge, someone who just can't encompass all the excitement and all the joy of Christmas. That is until the free spirits come to make him change his ways. This is a great story that everyone knows and everyone loves. I doubt that everybody will stop making their own versions of it. Number 7. Thomas's Christmas Party and Thomas and the Missing Christmas Tree. I couldn't decide on either one of them, so I just put them on the same level. We all know that Thomas the Tank Engine has had a few Christmas episodes, or episodes that are set during winter, but these two are two of the best in my opinion. In the first one, Thomas and his friends organise a Christmas party for Mrs. Kindly for helping them out one Christmas. And then the second one is Thomas going missing when he's trying to get a Christmas tree, and then the Scottish twins having to save him. But what I really love about these two specials is seeing the engines have their Christmas parties while wearing those Santa hats. I mean, when was the last time you ever saw a steam engine with a Santa hat? I don't know when and where that has ever happened in real life. But all I know is that these are two of the best Thomas the Tank Engine Christmas episodes I have ever seen. Number 6. Yogi Bear's First Christmas. This was one of the very first Christmas specials I ever saw as a kid. We get to see a lot of the Hanna-Barbera characters such as Yogi, Boo Boo, Snagglepuss, Huckleberry Hound, Oggy Daddy and his little son Oggy, or whatever the hell his name was. This special was really great because it shows Yogi Bear having his very first Christmas, when he's actually supposed to be hibernating for it. And we also get a character named Herman the Hermit, who's a lot like Ebenezer Scrooge, a hermit who wants to be alone and just can't encompass all the excitement of Christmas, and will do anything he can to stop it from happening in Jellystone Park. This special is great because it shows Yogi having his first Christmas, and it shows that even a grouchy old hermit can change his ways. That's why I count this as the number 6 on my list. Number 5. Jingle All the Way. This was the first and only Christmas movie to star Arnold Schwarzenegger and comedian Sinbad. The reason I put this on the list is because it made me laugh a lot as a kid, but watching it again as an adult, the parts with Sinbad are the only bits that make me laugh. In fact, the Sinbad moments are the moments I always skip to. Well, that and the Santa fight between Arnold and all the Santas. But this special is basically taking the mick out of the Christmas rushes we have every now and then. Like trying to find a must-have gift for a kid, but having troubles finding it because it's so popular that it's sold out almost everywhere. I mean, we've all been there, trying to find a gift that we can't find. That's what we have the internet for these days. Number 4. Mr. Men Christmas Rescue and Mr. Men the Christmas Letter. Again, I couldn't decide on both, so I put them on the same list because they both have the Mr. Men. The Mr. Men Christmas Rescue was basically showing the Queen of Miseryland being so miserable that everybody loves Christmas, and so she sends her 3 most miserable knights to ruin Christmas for everyone in Mr. Land. But it all gets sorted out in the end by the Mr. Men and Little Miss. And Mr. Men the Christmas Letter was another great special. It had Jack giving Mr. Forgetful a Christmas letter to send to Father Christmas, but he accidentally forgets to send it, so Jack goes on a mission to go to the North Pole and tell Father Christmas what he wants for Christmas. And he gets into all sorts of problems along the way, meeting Mr. Happy, Mr. Daydream, and even meeting an old grouch named Mr. Mean. And I loved how they did Mr. Mean as the cheapskate. Plus, when was the last time we ever saw someone own a How to Make Lots of Money book? And that is just so funny. And also the scene when Little Miss Tiny sings a sad song actually did get me a little teary-eyed. Ah, shut up! Filled with Mr. Men and Christmas joy, these two are always going to be considered my number 4 Christmas specials. Number 3. Doctor Who Voyage of the Damned. Yeah, I know there's been a lot of Doctor Who Christmas specials from 2005 onwards, but this, along with The Christmas Invasion, The Runaway Bride, The Next Doctor, and The End of Time, this one is among one of my favourites. It's just so amazing to see a spaceship version of the Titanic, and Kylie Minogue really did get involved with the role of her character. And I thought it was really upsetting when she died. I actually thought that she was going to become the new companion, but oh well. This has got Christmas cheer and drama. This is why it's considered number 3 on my list. Number 2. Blackadder's Christmas Carol. We all know that Blackadder is the biggest asshole in England, but in this special he's the nicest man in England, who then gets a visit by the spirit of Christmas who shows him his ancestors, but he decides that he likes the way his ancestors act and wants to be an asshole from now on. Out of all the Christmas Carol adaptations, this one's my ultimate favourite, because it took a clever twist to it. Instead of the main character from going to mean to nice, he went from nice to being horrid. And it's really funny to see Blackadder act this way as opposed to the way we normally see him in the show. As I said, he's normally the world's biggest asshole, but in this he's the nicest man in England. And it's really funny to see him this way, because when he's smiling and laughing, you can tell that he's repressing a ton of anger and just wants to smack someone in the face. And then thankfully, by the end, he does. This Christmas special has always been one of my favourite Christmas comedies. But what could possibly top this one? Well, join me at number 1. And the number 1 Christmas special is Home Alone and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. Again, I couldn't decide on both, so I just put them both as number 1 because they're basically the same characters and the same story pretty much. Except in the first one, Kevin gets left at home by accident, and in the second one he accidentally goes to New York while his family goes to Florida. I like how these Christmas specials are very moving and dramatic when you get past all the slapstick and the jokes. And Macaulay Culkin's remembered for this role, like capturing the whiny, selfish, bratty side of being a kid, but also the lovable side of being a kid. When I was a kid, I used to relate to Kevin McAllister. It was mainly because I'm the youngest in the house. I always felt like I was the pigeon of the house, and that he was a kindred spirit to me. But that's just me. And I love the mother and what almost psychotic methods she'll go to get home to her son. It's both funny and pretty touching at the same time. And I love how in the end of the films, when she does finally get to her son, at first he doesn't really forgive her. He remembers what she did and he needs acknowledgement of it. And thankfully just saying sorry is all he needs. And the family is so realistic in these movies. I mean, yeah, they do fight, but in the end they're still a family. And the spirit of Christmas always manages to shine through. Home Alone and Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, because nobody should have to spend Christmas by themselves. And those are my top 12 Christmas specials. I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope you'll get as much Christmas cheer out of them as I did. Merry Christmas to you all and a Happy New Year.